Hey, good morning. Going live, talking to you. Must be Thursday because we're talking about business, networking, and I'm going to get it on social media here so people can hop on. All right. Business, networking. How are you memorable? We want you to be memorable when you're out there. We want people to remember you. That's the whole point about the business networking event is that you make some connections and check out other videos because I've given you a roadmap on what you do when you're there. You meet at least 5 people, talk to 5 people, get their information. It doesn't matter as much if you give them a card, have a card available, that's fine. But what's important is that you capture their information because you know what you'll do. How many cards have you given at a networking event and they have never gotten back to you? So make sure you get their information, you do the follow-up that day, call them and email them. I have other videos about that, check it out, you can see that there. But what I want to encourage you to do today is I want to give you one tip, just one tip on what to do at a networking event. To have one goal, I want you to have one goal, and that's this: be memorable. While you're there, you want to be memorable. Now, I don't know you. I don't know the specific gifts, talents, and abilities that you have, but you do. And you need to discover those. You need to do an assessment and figure out what is unique about you. What do you bring to the table? Do you sing? Do you know karate? Do you write poetry and rhyme? Whatever it is, I don't know. There are so many different ways, but you have to be memorable. And so every time you go into a networking event, I want you to be thinking, how can I be memorable today? How can I be memorable today? How can I stick out in their mind and they go, wow, when I need a plumber, call them. When I need a general contractor, call that guy, that gal. When I need security, a security system put in, I'm going to call that person. They're at the top of my mind. They're top of mind because they had a funny tagline or something like that. I've done all kinds of different things at networking events. I've sang, I've had catchy, maybe risque a little bit sayings. I have done poetry, little rhymes, little taglines. Roses are red, violets are blue. My business is awesome. It's just missing you. Something like that. It's cheesy, I know, but that's memorable, right? That's something that you remember from the day instead of, hi, my name's Bill, and I'm just here trying to invite you to get my services. We offer, we'll do your dishes, we'll sweep your floor, and just blah, 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 blah. And it's boring, right? Everybody does that. Don't do that. Don't be everybody. Stand out, stick out, do something different. End on time. Be memorable. Okay, be memorable. Let me tell you just I got 5 written down here real quick. Or four ways to be memorable that I have seen and experienced before. So I've seen people sing. I've done it myself. There was a guy that sang every single month at a networking event. He sang every single month, and he was horrible at singing. And everybody laughed when he started singing, but they remembered him, right? So that you can rhyme. I just told you a rhyme. Many people do the roses are red, violets, but great. Do a rhyme. Do something like that. Get your tagline in there, and add a little rhyme to make it fun. It'll stick in people's brain. A tagline, a catchy tagline. Now, there was a lady that was a matchmaker in a town I was in, and her tagline was, "We make love every day." And let me tell you, I remember that, right? And you'll remember that, and everyone remembers that. And because she was connecting people, I don't have to explain it to you, but it sticks out in your memory, right? Okay. Next, I remember a gal that was a self-defense. She helped women with personal self-defense, and she wore these like 4 or 5 inch heels, and she could kick her foot above her head in 5-inch heels, and she was like in her 50s. So impressive. Never forget it. Extremely memorable. When I think self-defense, I think that lady. I would be able to find her and figure out where she is and get her on information because I remember her. She was memorable. And then the last thing I want to encourage you to do is practice, practice, practice. Whatever you do, practice. Don't just say, oh, just whatever comes to my mind when I get up there. That is preparing to fail. I remember on the way in my car, you don't have to practice 2 days in advance, but in my car on the way to the networking event, instead of listening to the radio or something like that, I would just go over my pitch over and over and over and over and over again. Sometimes, if I was singing a song or something, I'd plan out a little more time. But at least on the drive, go over your pitch over and over and over again. And I'll bring you a video on how to put together an elevator pitch that will be memorable in following weeks. All right, that's your tip for today, how to be memorable at a networking event. And I will talk to you tomorrow. We'll talk about dreams. All right.